Hello everyone, welcome back on my channel BioLeg the World of Biology. Students, in the previous lecture we learned that based on whether the cells and tissues are capable of dividing or not, these are classified into two main groups. The first one is the meristematic tissues, which consist of young and actively dividing cells. These cells divide and redivide continuously and form new cells. But as the cell division proceeds, some of the older cells lose their capacity for cell division and get mature. These group of cells form the permanent tissues. They are also known as non-dividing tissues because they don't divide further. While meristematic tissues are found only at the growing regions of a plant, the permanent tissues make up the bulk of the plant body. So, on the basis of location, meristematic tissues are classified as apical, which is present at root and shoot apex, intercalary, which is present at the base of nodes, internodes of stem and petioles of leaves. And the third is lateral meristem, which is present on the lateral side of the stem and root of a plant. But what about permanent tissues? Students, as we have discussed, permanent tissues are composed of cells that have lost the power of division. So students, have you ever thought if initially plants don't have permanent tissues, so where did it come from? The answer is actually quite simple. When meristematic tissues have divided and reached the final stage of division, they attain maturity. After this point, these tissues do not divide anymore. They only get differentiated into different parts, and these non-dividing tissues then become permanent tissues. Did you understand? What does it mean? It means both the meristematic tissues and the permanent tissues are same. When tissues grow and divide, they are known as meristematic tissues, and when these tissues lose their ability to divide, they become permanent tissues. So we can say permanent tissues are nothing but matured meristematic tissues. Let us discuss some characteristics of permanent tissues. First is the cells of permanent tissues have definite shape, size and function. Unlike the meristematic cells, they may be living or dead cells. Third is they may have thin or thick cell wall. So these are the three basic characteristics of cells present in permanent tissues. Now, based on whether the cells in tissues are similar in structure or not, permanent tissues are classified as simple permanent tissues and complex permanent tissues, where simple permanent tissues are made up of only one type of cells. That means here the cells are similar in structure and function. On the other hand, complex permanent tissues are composed of more than one type of cells. That means it consists different types of cells which are dissimilar in structure. If we will talk about the location of these tissues, simple permanent tissues are located in every part of the plant, while complex permanent tissues are located in the vascular regions, that means the region where transportation of food and water take place. Simple permanent tissues are mainly classified as parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma, while complex permanent tissues classified as xylem and phloem. If you want to know in one word what each of these tissues do, let us see what they can be called otherwise. Parenchyma. It can be called as a filler tissue. Collenchyma is a supporter while sclerenchyma is a protective tissue. On the other hand, xylem and phloem are conducting tissues. We will look at each of these tissues in detail. The first tissue is parenchyma. You can find parenchyma tissue throughout the plant body. They are even known as the filler tissues because mostly they fill the space between the other tissues. If you will look at their cell wall, you can observe it is quite thin, and having a thin cell wall makes these tissues soft. These cells have vacuoles and large intercellular space is present between these cells. Students, as I told you earlier that parenchyma tissue is known as filler tissue, along with this they used to perform various functions depending on the place they are in. For instance, the parenchyma cells present in leaves and other green parts of the plant contain chloroplast so that they can take part in photosynthesis, and hence they are called chlorenchyma. This is a mix of the words chloroplast plus parenchyma. You can also find parenchyma tissue in the pulp of fruits. These tissues are capable to store fruit sugars and starch. That's why they are known as storage parenchyma. In floating plants, cells of parenchyma tissues have large intercellular spaces, and these spaces are usually filled with air. Hence, it provides buoyancy to the plant and provide oxygen to roots of the plant. And these type of parenchyma are referred as erenchyma. Just like chlorenchyma, erenchyma is made up of air plus parenchyma. So we can say parenchyma tissues are of different types. The parenchyma which contain chloroplast is known as the chlorenchyma, whereas the parenchyma which is able to store sugar and other nutrients is termed as storage parenchyma, and the erenchyma which contain large air cavities and provide buoyancy to the plants. Now let us learn about collenchyma. Don't get confused with chlorenchyma. Okay, so collenchyma is responsible for two main reasons. First is flexibility and second is mechanical support. Because of the flexibility and mechanical support they provide, plants can withstand things like heavy rainfalls. It provides bending of various parts of a plant without breaking it. You can find collenchyma tissues in places like tendrils, stem of climbers and leaf stalks. If you take a look at the cells of collenchyma, we can see these tissues are also made up of living cells just like parenchyma. But the cell wall is irregularly thickened at the corners than the parenchymatous cells. Here, vacuoles are present and these cells are compactly arranged. That's why there is very little intercellular space. So what we have to remember about collenchyma? First thing is, the cells of these tissues are living, elongated. The second thing which we have to remember that the cell wall is irregularly thickened at corners. And the third thing is no or very little intercellular spaces present. Let's move on to the third type of simple permanent tissue, which is sclerenchyma. Unlike the other two types, this tissue is completely made up of dead cells. They have heavily thickened walls due to deposition of lignin, which makes the plant hard and stiff. That's why their main function is to provide mechanical strength. You can find the sclerenchyma in the places like the hard shells of the nuts and the husk of coconut. Sclerenchymatous cells are occurred in different shapes and sizes, but two main types are fibers and sclerids. Fibers are long and elongated, while sclerids are spherical, oval or cylindrical in shape. If we will talk about fibers, these are found in soft stems, leaves and the vascular region of the plants. Many of these fibers, like seed hairs, are used to make textile fibers and other woven goods, while sclerids are generally found in hard coating of nuts because the hard shells resemble to the stones. That's why it is also known as stone cells. Now, let's summarize this topic. Simple permanent tissues are those tissues which are made up of only one type of cell. Here, simple permanent tissues are classified as soft and living parenchyma, slightly hard, flexible and living collenchyma, and the very hard and rigid scalenchyma. In parenchyma, cell wall is thin. In collenchyma, it is thickened at corners, and in scalenchyma, wall is very thick because of deposition of lignin. If we will talk about the nature of cells, cells of parenchyma and collenchyma are living, while cells of scalenchyma are dead. In parenchyma, there is presence of large intercellular space. In collenchyma, cells are compactly arranged, so no or little intercellular space is present. On the other hand, no intercellular space is there in case of scalenchyma. If we will talk about the functions, parenchyma usually fills the space and perform different functions such as perform photosynthesis and storing food. Collenchyma provide flexibility and mechanical support. It allows bending of various parts of a plant without breaking it, while scalenchyma makes the plant hard and stiff. So that's all about simple permanent tissue. In the upcoming video, we'll talk about some other protective tissues like epidermis and cork. So take care and keep watching. Don't forget to subscribe our channel and hit the like button. Thank you.